Hi, everybody. It's Mrs. Bennett. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend and a day off. I'm here for Book Talk Tuesday on Tuesday, March 9th. Still going to do it even though you guys aren't here, and perhaps your Get Set teacher will show you Wednesday morning. So the first book I'm going to talk about is Playing with Fire, written by Bruce Hale. It is part of a spies series, and 13-year-old fosterling Max Segredo knows he's just one stop away from juvie. Luckily, that stop turns out to be the Mary Sunshine Orphanage, where the third floor is off limits due to a secret science project. And the house rules include no unsupervised gunplay. Staffed with tough instructors with names like Sticks and Stones, the unusually secure orphanage turns out to be a vocational school to train students in systematic protection, intelligence, and espionage services. Max fits in nicely until coded messages suggesting that his father, a spy himself, is still alive, spark an urgent need to escape. Hale threads, the author, Bruce Hale, threads the narrative with colorful metaphors and throwaway lines and festoons it with high and low tech tools for spycraft. This kid spy romp should find some eager readers. So that's Playing with Fire, written by Bruce Hale. The next one that I have here is The Bunker on Edelweiss Mountain, written by Siegfried Hamsch. And this story is of a boy who learns the tough lesson that sometimes one must do something that he or she disapproves of for the common good. The boy, Norman, is the son of a sergeant major in the U.S. Army stationed in post-World War II Germany. In order to help his German boy and friend Anton clear his name with the police, Norman agrees to help search for a mysterious bunker that was supposedly abandoned after the war. Not only did the boys find the bunker, but they also find that the warnings they received to stay away from the bunker should have been heeded. And that's The Bunker on Edelweiss Mountain. The next one sounds super fun. Not that the others aren't, but this one sounds like quite the adventure. The Detective's Assistant, written by Kate Hannigan. 11-year-old Nell Warr couldn't have imagined what awaits her until she arrives on her long-lost aunt's doorstep, lugging a heavy sack of sorrows. Much to Nell's surprise, her aunt is a detective working for the world-famous Pinkerton's National Detective Agency. Nell quickly makes herself indispensable to Aunt Kate, not just by helping out with household chores. As her aunt travels around the country solving mysteries, Nell must crack code, wear disguises, and spy on nefarious criminals. So that's The Detective Assistant by Kate Hannigan. This one is The Goose Girl. It's written by Shannon Hale, and it's based on some of the Brothers Grimm's fairy tales. She was born with her eyes closed and a word on her tongue, a word she could not taste. Her name was Annie Dory Kiladra Taliana Aisley, Crown Princess of Kildenry. And she spent the first years of her life listening to her aunt's stories and learning the language of the birds, especially the swans. When she was older, she watched as the colt was born and she heard the first word on his tongue, his name, Falada. From Grimm's fairy tale of the princess who became a goose girl before she could become queen, Shannon Hale has woven an incredible, original, and magical tale of a girl who must find her own unusual talents before she can lead the people she has made her own. So that's Goose Girl by Shannon Hale. And then one final book, My Lady Jane, written by Cynthia Han, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. And it starts with Edward. He's the King of England. He's also dying, which is inconvenient, as he's only 16 and he'd much rather be planning for his first kiss than considering who will inherit the crown. Jane is Edward's cousin and far more interested in books than romance. She reads way too many books. Unfortunately for Jane, Edward has arranged to marry her off to secure the line of succession. And there's something a little odd about her intended. Gifford is a horse. That is, he's an Ethian for the uninitiated. Every day at dawn, he becomes a noble chestnut steed, but then he wakes at dusk with a mouthful of hay. It's all very undignified. The plot thickens as Edward, Jane, and G are drawn into a dangerous conspiracy. With the fate of the kingdom at stake, our heroes will have to engage in some conspiring of their own. But can they pull off their plan before it's off with their heads? Okay, so that's My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. This one was The Goose Girl by Shannon Hale. This third one was The Detective's Assistant, Kate Hannigan. The second one I mentioned was The Bunker on Edelweiss Mountain by Siegfried Hamish. And then the first one that I talked about was Playing with Fire by Bruce Hale. All the books and more are available at the library. Have a great day.